All right, so I brought this with me this time. So I don't have to continue going up there. During the break, I was able to talk to a few of you guys, so hopefully you were able to get your coffee in. We're now back and ready to work. Part 2 is a lot more. You're going to be using your workbooks. We'll be having a lot of time in between, putting some music on, letting you guys work, and I'll be coming around, and it's going to be working with your tables a lot. So this is a time that we're going to be putting on our thinking caps. When I go to conferences, I like to make sure that I'm actually working. There's a lot of different concepts. As you work through them, you'll find that you're going to have more and more questions, and I want to make myself and your tables available to you. Sound good? Yes. Yes, I like that. Yes. Okay, let's talk lead funnels. What are we going to do? We're going to start building your list. So we want to get leads so we can sell them, right? Most of the time, people are going to not purchase from you on the first time that they experience your service or your product. If I go to your website and I purchase for the first time without doing anything else, good on ya. Is that good on ya? Good on ya. Mate. Good on ya, mate. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. G'day, mate. No, that's a different one. Okay, so if your leads are not going to purchase from you the first time that they land on your website, let's convince them to buy from you. It'll normally take me a little bit of time to check things out. I'm going to research other companies. I'm going to probably look at competition. And then I want to know that your brand is reputable. And I want to remember you. How am I going to remember you? I'm going to start getting some content from you. I'm going to start seeing it in different avenues. And then once I'm ready to actually purchase, I'm going to buy from you. Ladies in the room, it's like those pair of boots that you look at online, and then you go on like Facebook or you go on another Instagram, you go on something, you see those same exact boots. That's done for a reason. You're being retargeted. It's a sign. You got to buy them, right? It's a sign. That happened with this out here from Zara, so it's a sign. Let's do that for your business. They're perfect for you. So to do that, the first thing you need to know, or the first thing that you need to do, you need to find out who that person is. You need to capture their information and what are they interested in. And that's what you do by building a list. I'm now going to start building up a list of people that I can start retargeting, remarketing to, sending a pixel, say, here's that boot you looked at, you haven't bought it yet, you still need to buy it. You didn't see it in the email, you're now going to see it on your Facebook page. And I'm going to show it to you again with a 10% off coupon 2 weeks later. So in order to do that, I need to know who you are. I need to capture your information. But why would I give you my information? Why would I go to a website and say, oh, yeah, I want you to contact me. I want you to send me emails all the time. I love getting hundreds and thousands of emails in my inbox. It's great. The only reason they're going to do that is I'm going to give you my information is I'm going to get something in return. We talked about it earlier. This is just kind of going a little bit more in depth. That's a lead magnet. Something of value that you can give to your potential clients. What's something that the people you're selling to, your service, your product, are interested in? So when a lead comes, or your new prospect comes, this is the basic premise, overarching premise of building your list. I'm a lead. I want to buy some shoes. Going to look for that boot type. I'm going to end up on your website, go to your landing page, fill out the book that says, oh, the best new boots this season, this type of whatever type of boot it is. They're now going to be added into the database. I'm going to receive the information that's going to say, here's the newest in season, etc., and that's going to be delivered, and now they're added into my CRM system. Awesome. I now have your information. I'm going to start sending you information about boots. So that's a basic overarching premise. Everyone gets that, right? You've seen it all the time. Whenever you go online yourself for different products or different things you're trying to buy, this happens. Yeah? Yes. I heard some of you. I think some of you are sleeping. No? Okay, I got you there. All right. So lead magnets. Right now, we need to start thinking about what your clients want. So let's take a step back. Who are your clients? What are they needing? And what type of value can you offer to them right off of the bat that they're going to want to give you their information for? 7 ways to rebrand your business, or 7 mistakes for rebranding. For Entreport, 7 ways to create a landing page. For holistic health, find out your chakras. So right now, and I believe, I'll just come over here with you guys. Your first activity here is your lead magnet ideas. So I put a couple of them up on the screen. We're going to take about 5 minutes to come up with a couple of those, talk them out with your table, give them ideas, and then eventually we're going to pick one of those. So here's a couple of them up here on the board. Free ebook download, which is what we did earlier. A webinar, so you're able to do that with more people. Free quotes and consultations. Well, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Free consultations, exchanging your time. Free trials. Or percentage off your first purchase, or a survey or a quiz. Top 5 tips, something that's really quick and easy to digest is great. I get those all the time. That's how people get me. If you can tell me top 3 things in the industry that's going to affect me, I'm going to say, okay, I want to know those. Really easy to digest, and I'm going to capture information. Okay, couple minutes, you guys. Let's go ahead and write down a couple of those. Think about these, and I'll be walking around. Sound good? All right, so how was that? Good? Getting some ideas flowing. I was able to walk around and talk to people at tables, and it sounds like you guys have great questions, and now you're starting to understand how you can use different lead magnets and even change them a bit. Instead of a phone call, you're qualifying that person. Why not switch that over to a survey, something online where you can put those questions online, start qualifying them outside of you taking up your time to call them. That was a good one that came out of it. What about doing free trials? Would you do a free trial at the beginning? Would you do a free trial afterwards? Which is better for your business? So a lot of things that have come up, a lot of different questions. I really like the one that Phil had brought up. So Phil, do we have a microphone actually? Don't want you guys to have to yell. Phil already had one created that he's actually going to be using. This won't allow me to do this now. You don't have to stand up on the stage, I promise.
What are we singing?
So let's sing Horses together. But before that, tell me a little bit about your lead magnet that you chose to use.
Okay. One of the things, what I do is sell investment properties, and one of the hardest things is for people to keep all their documentation together, so their contract of sale, depreciation schedules, rental statements, insurances, council rates, things
Lots
like that.
of stuff.
It goes on. There's about 10 different things there. So I've created what's called a logbook, and in the folders in the logbook are those individual things, like the depreciation schedule goes in there. So if they ever have a tax audit, it's all there. The idea being that in July each year, when they get their final rental statement, they can Dropbox the whole logbook
Perfect.
to their accountant, and he can have that done in basically a few minutes.
Awesome. So if I was looking to receive that, what would I do? Where would I go? How do I get the logbook from you?
Say again?
How would I get the logbook from you if I wanted to get that for myself?
Well, that'll be my offer.
So are you going to put it online?
Yeah. So it'll go online, Facebook. We'll do some Facebook ads, some Google ads. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and database.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Okay.
It's a really good idea. I really like it because he pointed out what his pain points are of his clients. So what pain points do they have, and what is he trying to solve for them? So now that you have your lead magnet, next thing is, how do you give it to them? Where are you placing it? People ask me all the time, website, landing page, what's the difference? When do I use them? Can anyone answer that for me? Perfect. So what she just said was use a landing page so that they don't get distracted by what's on your website. Perfect. Cool. All right. What is a landing page? Let's start there. Landing page and a website. So a landing page, which you'll see over here on the right-hand side, is a standalone singular page. A website is going to have multiple pages connected. So you would have your contact us page, your information page, your services page. It's where your clients go to find more information about your products and your services. That is where you put all the information about your business. A landing page is not connected. I can't go to your website and say, I want the logbook, take me to where I can download the logbook on the main page. It might have a little form there that says if you want this, fill it out, but the whole page is not going to be dedicated to the logbook. That is a lead magnet. That's some specific offering that I want someone to interact with. I want them to take an action. So a big differentiation, it's perfect the way you put it, between a website and a landing page is you use a landing page because you want one CTA. A CTA is a call to action. You want to tell your client, just like in a funnel, what to do next. So if I go to your website, you might have Entreport, business automation, email marketing, SMS, task funnels, so much information. Where do I want them to go next? Remember, again, my goal is to pick up their information. My goal at this point isn't to sell them. I want to just get their information so I can start sending them data and build my list. So what I'd want to do is essentially say, here is the action I want you to take. Here's what it is. Here's the value. This is what you need to do. So here's the action. The action, of course, is going to be giving you their information. So the difference overarching websites, landing pages. A website is going to be where you have all of the information about your services. You're going to have different pages attached to it. It's great for SEO because of that. I know that we had spoke earlier, some of you are working on creating a website. She said Wix or WordPress. WordPress, in that case, because it's scalable. You're going to have a lot more options. So we're talking about systems, building your business. You want to start growing in that question, definitely go for WordPress. Mm-hmm. Confused on where they come in. So some people do that. Some people have actually used landing pages, like a standalone one page. That's their full website. Perfect. Exactly. Perfect. A landing page is a standalone web page. So for Karen's husband, she uses Entreport, and for him, all he needs is one page that is talking about his information. Okay, so for some people, that's all you need. Yeah, a URL. You just go to a URL, right. So both of those you can find online. You could go to google.com. You could go to, or actually for my own, I have a side business.com. You can go to Beauty by Stephanie website, or you can go to Beauty by Stephanie consultations, which is the landing page. So they're separate entities, but you're still going to a URL. Does that make sense? So there's still a URL, you're still going online. The difference is you have your website and you're using landing pages, and usually on those landing pages, you're using it for a specific action. You could. If you want to go ahead and add an extra page to your website, not have it in the navigation panel. The utility of landing pages, in this case, with collecting lead data, is because it has the very specific actions of what they want to take next. Where in your website, you're going to have your navigation, where it has my contact information, my service information. There's a lot of different places your eyes can be taken. And people have the attention span Very small attention span. So if you are not going to tell them what to do next, there's a bigger chance they're not going to convert. They're not going to give you their information because there's other things that can take their information, their eyes away. Mm-hmm. So, right. So with your landing page and how you're actually having it placed, without getting too detailed into how how URLs work, if you're hosting your website on that domain, that content, think of it as like yellow pages. To find the information of where that website's held, it's held on one domain. If you're using a different system for landing pages and you're using the same domain, it's not going to know the website, the yellow pages, aren't going to know where to send it. So what you'd want to do instead is you'd want to either add on to your landing page something a little bit different. So for me, Beauty by Stephanie Consultations / booking is what I use for those specific landing pages. You're not going to be able to use both, though, because then the internet's going to say, I don't know where to send you, and you get an error. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, you guys. So differences between website and landing page. Websites, have them, use them. For lead magnets, you can use a landing page, specific call to action. They're great. You also can use it on your website. So it's really dependent on what you guys are doing, what your lead magnet is. If it's something that you're going to be using for a while, it's a logbook, you can place it on your website as a form. If it's something that you guys are going to be putting together for 1 week, 1 month, then you're going to want to use a landing page. Don't make it so that people can navigate to it. The thing is, you don't want people to find this offer. It's specific to them. The action is send them that information for that time being. Make sense? All right, next activity. We're now going to create a landing page. So inside of Entreport, we do have the ability to quickly create templated landing pages. So maybe you guys have a website. You had a designer create it. It's fabulous. How many of you guys can actually edit it? Okay. What if you wanted to completely change it? You wanted to make a brand new page. The thing about when you're creating those websites and you have people actually editing them, unless you're a coder, unless you know how to use the system, how easy is it for you to go in there and to quickly whip up a page? With landing page editors like Entreports, you have templates that already have the pre-made blocks, no coding necessary to create beautiful landing pages. So should you need to put something together, you want to try out a lead magnet funnel this afternoon. You could go ahead and put together a lead page in a matter of minutes. No coding necessary, no need to call your developer. So it's an additional tool that you have. So while you're implementing any of these systems, you're starting to build your list with all these different lead magnets that we've discussed. How do I actually build it? Do you call your developer and say, okay, this is what I want, this is what it looks like, or do you want to be able to build something really quickly and get it posted? When you're building it, you want to be able to build it quickly, then let's go ahead and build what are the main steps for that landing page. So if you actually go to your worksheets, the next part is going to be landing page content. So a landing page, like we said, has one call to action. It's one thing, you're telling me, download this logbook. Here's the pain points that you're running through. Here's how you're going to get the information. Here's what I need from you in order to get that. So now we're going to go through with the lead magnet that you had just discussed. Choose one of them, and let's create a landing page that you would be able to put it on. The first thing you need to write down is a grabbing headline. So earlier, we talked about follow-up and being able to put together sales systems. From Stage, I was able to have you guys opt in. If you had found that on our website, you would go to this landing page. So this landing page is for that same ebook. And at the top, it's just going to give you your grabbing headline. Make something stand out about that ebook. Don't let inconsistent follow-up stunt your growth. Use these simple strategies to stay in touch automatically. So that's going to Talk directly about the pain point of your clients, of your leads. What is the pain point? What am I solving? The description, go a little bit more in depth. So what are they going to expect from that lead magnet? If it's a consultation call, expect me to call you, you're going to get 30 minutes. What is the value? The feature statement, that is optional. We can go ahead and add that above the form, below the form. I like to use them because it's a really quick little item about exactly what they're going to get. A PDF logbook with every single, not in the industry, every single financial workbook you would need. That's it. Your description is going to tell them exactly which components there are, and your headline is what's going to grab my attention because it's my pain point. And then lastly, you're going to have the opt-in form. So an opt-in form. Building your list, people are opting in. People are telling me, I want this information, I'm interested in your services, I'm interested in your product, I'm interested in this lead magnet. So then they're going to give you their information. At this point, since we're just trying to build your list, make sure that the opt-in form is going to be minimal. So you're not trying to grab too much information, because the problem is if you try to ask too many questions when it's a new lead, you're trying to build your list at this point, they might fall off. So I had a client who asked, I think it was like 8 questions on the initial lead magnet. Can anyone see a problem there? If you have 8 questions on your initial lead, too many. I want something quick, easy, tell me what to do. Again, my attention span is so small. So all I want to do is be able to say, I want the logbook, I want to give you my information. What is it? Great, move on to the next thing. So what are the things that you'd want in order to be able to communicate with them? Email address? Maybe it's as simple as an email address. Are you having a phone call with them? Probably want their first name then. Probably want their phone number. So the top 3 things. Email address, of course, you want to capture that to start building your list. Possibly want their first name. And of course, a phone number if you're giving them a call. So that's one example, and now what we're going to do is write that down. So again, let's get some music going. And let's start writing out your landing page content. Sound good? Woo! I would sing the horses every time, but I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Horses, baby. Okay. And getting there. Getting there. I gotta buy the album. I'm gonna buy it through a software. I'm gonna buy it through Breakaway. I gotta get that song memorized before I go home, huh? Whew. Okay. All right, you guys. So, how we doing? I love that you guys are all working together at the tables. It feels like you guys are actually getting things down on paper. And like what we had talked about earlier, all these systems, when you guys are putting together automation, it's all in your head. All of these things, you know who your clients are. You know what they're wanting. It's just a matter of getting it down on paper. So doing exercises like this, where we go through what exactly are the different components, what exactly is a lead magnet, and writing it down, you're starting to put together a system for building your list. It feels good. All right. So what have we done? We've created a lead magnet, some sort of value that you're going to offer to people, and they're going to then come to your landing page that you just created. They're going to see the content. What did we just created one, and I loved it. What was the name of the grabbing headline that we created? Where to start here. If I'm a new business, I don't know where to start. Start here. That was her grabbing headline. Love that. So she has her landing page now, and then I'm going to see what I'm going to get in that. So now I'm going to get the 3 things that I need to be concerned about most as a new business. I'm going to give her my information. I'm now your lead. Now from there, you can start talking to me via email. You probably have my phone number. And here's where that nurturing process starts. So now, I didn't buy your product right off at the very beginning, but I'm now a lead that you can start building a relationship with. I can start getting to know your business. why I should work with you if you're a consultant, why I should buy your service. And you do all that after you started to build your list by capturing leads. So step 1 is done. Okay, now what? Awesome. What are you going to do now that I filled out your form? What's the next part? Where do I go next? As soon as I fill out a form online, if you imagine you're online right now, if I filled out a form, what's going to happen next on the actual website? What's the next thing that's going to pop up? Hi, I didn't see you come in. What's the next thing that's going to happen on that URL or on that website? As soon as I fill out your form, what happens next? Thank you. Respond an email. Perfect. So many a times I've seen businesses where they come to me, like, yeah, I know what a lead magnet is. I know what a form is. I go and I fill out their forms online. Nothing happens. I'm just stuck on that page. It is so important. The next step. This is someone telling you, I'm interested in your product and service. Use that opportunity to direct them to the next step. We're doing funnels, guys. Raise their hand, capture their information. What's next? Use that opportunity. Don't let it go to waste by just saying thanks. So let's talk about the art of a thank you page, the art of the next step. Once they fill out that form, you're going to take them to a page that's going to thank them, and of course, you're going to send them that email. What type of information is going to be on that thank you page? Big word saying thank you? Awesome, great. Okay, I'm going to go on and I'm probably going to do something else. Perfect. Reinforce. Reinforce exactly what you had just had them opt in for, and what else? Definitely follow up. Yep. You're going to thank them. What they clicked on. Yeah. So there's a couple different things you can do with thank you pages. And what else? What other components of your business, what other lead magnets, what other value pieces can you offer them based off of what they just told you they're interested in? If I'm interested in the logbook, and I'm interested in your services, but I'm not interested in meeting up with you in person. Maybe I opted in, I said, yes, I want the logbook. On the next page, you can say, great, did you know about this type of service for financial, for the financial component? Did you know that I can meet up with you in person? So you have all these different areas that you can now shape after they've initially opted in. So direct their eye. Again, actions, call to actions. So in this example of this thank you page, I'm just going to stand up here. In this example of this thank you page, thanks. Tell me exactly how I'm going to get that information that I just opted in for. I just gave you my details. As soon as that happens, some people will just have nothing down here. It'll just be the thanks expected in your inbox. No, tell them where else they can start learning more about your business. Start building up your reputation, build your brand. Hey, now that you've opted in for this, did you know about X, Y, or Z? And make those links, make those things that you're directing their eyes to specific to what they had just opted into. So in the example earlier for follow-up, if you had texted me or if you had filled out that form that says, yes, I want the ebook on how to systemize my sales and follow-up, this is the page you would see. Thanks. You're going to get the toolkit here. Want to learn more? It'll take you to my blog. More Salesforce automation content that you'll love. We also have 3 different articles that now are specific to what I already know they're interested in. So I'm reinforcing that I am someone in the industry who knows what I'm talking about, right? So you're starting to build that relationship. You're starting to cross-reference all the other components, maybe talk about other services that you can add on to the one that they had just opted in for, etc. So with landing pages, don't miss the opportunity. Use a landing page to reinforce your business, reinforce the different pieces of content that they also can take a look at. Okay. Let's see on the activity. All right. So next activity, we're making the thank you page content. Ooh. Yeah, thank you page content. All right, so you've got your headline. What is it going to say? Does it say thanks? Does it say thank you? Does it say thank you to their first name? How formal are we being? That's your grabbing headline. You want to put a button and a URL. Are you going to direct them back to your website? Are you going to direct them to your services pages? Think about the lead magnet, what they're opting in for, booking a consultation. And lastly, what additional value can you offer at the bottom of the page? All right, so another 2-3 minutes. We're going to do this one a little bit shorter this time because I think you guys kind of understand the concept here. All right, so let's write our thank you pages. Okay, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and move on. How we feeling? We have our landing page written, we have our lead magnet chosen, we have our thank you page written, and now we're starting to think of ideas of other value. If you want, I'll send it to you. Don't worry. Okay, you guys, let's wrap it back. Bring it back in. I'm singing again. Something horses. Okay. It sounds fabulous. Perfect. Okay, so, all right, you guys. Last part of the puzzle is going to be delivering that lead magnet. Do it in a consistent, repeatable way. So if you promise someone if they give you their information, you better give them that stuff, otherwise you're not starting off on a good foot. So, consistent, repeatable, by using a system. So the next step is going to be actually giving them that content. So if it's an ebook, if it's a logbook, are you going to be sending it to them via email? Probably. If it is, in my case, what happened for my lead magnet, I text you guys back. So I sent you a text, and then I sent you an email with the content. All right, so the last step, email them the lead magnet. They filled out the page, they got the thank you, they think you guys, your brand is awesome, they know you know what you're talking about. They've checked out all of your website, all of the links on that thank you page. They now go into their inbox, and they get the email with the content. For anyone who opted in earlier to the SMS, this is going to be in your inbox. So what needs to be inside of the email? Pretty straightforward again. Here's the thing that you opted in for, guys. Here's something else that I want you to check out. Can't really see it down here. So here's your download. Ready to start automating? Use this follow-up made easy guide to get started. Just click the button below. Main download link. This link is going to have that PDF or that ebook. So we had talked about that earlier, difference between an ebook and a PDF. In either case, you can have it as a downloadable file. And that way they click on that and they have the value content. You've started to build your brand. You have that contact information. Down here at the bottom, find out more about Entreport. Clickable link. Simple. So, last part here, let's write out that email. What are you going to provide in there? What are the actual sentences? And keep it minimal. Don't overthink it. Again, automating small steps. If you're responding, or if you're getting an email most of the time, you're reading very little. All you want is the real value, and then the next steps. So next part, let's write out that thank you email, that email content. That's the last part on your worksheets. So what are you going to say? If you're like me, are you a little spunky? Are you going to put a little jazz into that first sentence? After that, where do you want them to go next? So again, in funnels, what's the next step? Now, after they've downloaded that link, what do you want to happen next? Take them back to your website, sign up for a consultation, get a free trial, go to the next webinar, check out some testimonials, something like that. And that's what you add down there at the bottom. All right, only got a couple minutes left, so maybe I will just sing up here. What this says, wait. No, it says, want to talk about your business with Stephanie or Mike? Send them an email at and then our email addresses, and want to check out Entreport. And this is just a perfect prime example because it's something that I literally built for this event. So it's a perfect way for us to capture leads so you can actually see it live. Yeah. A competition? Yeah. So what she was asking was, we've talked a lot about ebooks, we've talked a lot about webinars. What about like a contest? Awesome. So amazing. Contests are great. I will give you my information any day. Win a trip to Bali, I did that last week, didn't win. You do? Mm-hmm. Which is everyone. Mm-hmm. Something, some sort of value still to them. Yeah. So it does work really. I had someone, he works in the sports industry, and he sells like knee sleeves and stuff like that, and shoes, Nike shoes. And what we did is we put together a contest for win a pair of sneakers or something like that. Worked really well. So again, just so we get that for everyone, contests are great. Really good way to collect leads. All right, how are we doing on the email content, you guys? We're almost there. We've only got a couple minutes left. You've got all that you need. Remember how we talked about writing things down in order to make systems? Just get it out of the head and put it down. Last part is putting it together. So what we're going to do is now that you have all that content, you have the content in front of you, turn it over to the last page, which is going to be our map. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. It's up to you how quickly you want to escalate that sale. For myself, it's a lead magnet that's pretty general. I probably wouldn't point them to the direct sale on that email. I'd probably wait a couple of days because you don't want to push it too hard, right? Find out more. Yeah, you can do find out more on that page, but just don't talk about the actual sale. You know what I mean? So sales email is completely different. So then send that email that says find out more with a link to possibly your website or the service, but not the actual purchase page. Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. We have all the content written. Yes. Is this baby a thing out here too, like it is in the States? This image? Yeah. That's not an image out here? Yeah. Okay. All right, so last part in the last couple of minutes. We are going to put it all together. So what we're going to do, inside of that map, we're now going to start placing the different components that you just built out so you guys can start to understand how they all work together. Sound good? Woo! Woo! You can even name it. So what's the name of this lead magnet funnel? You can go ahead and write that here on the left-hand side. That's the lead magnet funnel that we're creating today. All right, basic process. We have a lead. They're visiting your website, and they're going to see your offer. So what happens? What's the system behind building your list? You have all that you need right in front of you now. What's the first thing? What's the first thing you're going to add in there? Where am I going to go to find your lead magnet? Landing page. Go ahead and write landing page in that first box. And you can even name it. So if your landing page is for the logbook, name your landing page, because you're probably going to end up having multiple. Now that by the end of today, you have created one lead magnet funnel for building your list. After this, you can continue making more. So start naming your pages, start naming your funnels. All right, so landing page. What next? What's on your landing page that allows me to capture that information? Opt-in box. All right, so put in there opt-in box or form. So it's a lead magnet landing page, box 1. Yep. You have the call to action, you have the headline on there. The next step is creating that form that's going to capture that information, their email, their first name. All right. Now, after that's happened, let's just go to the right. As soon as they fill out that form, what are they going to see next? Thank you page. Perfect. Right in that thank you page in that next box. All right. What's the last thing that you need to do? If I've risen my hand and I said, I want to work with you, you say, great, you tell me thank you. I need to receive something, so what's last? What's next? Cash. Cash money. I like that. And last part is delivering, so emailing the content. So the last part would be that email. The fourth one. The first one is the landing page. Is a thank you page. Oh, no, we're just doing like an overarching process. So all the things, how do they fit together, just so you can see how they are. Now that you have the content written on the pages, this is just your map. We're visualizing how they all fit together. Yeah, link is in the email. If you'd like, and what she's bringing up, some people like to give the download. So if you're doing an ebook download, actually give it to people on the thank you page. I don't recommend doing that. Reason being, when you start sending emails, remember you asked about deliverability, the more people are engaging and opening those emails, the better it is for you. So if you're giving them the content on that thank you page, I'm probably not going to go into my email and even open what you sent me because I already have the value, right? So send it in an email. You can do both. That's just my preference. Exactly. So that's the next step. So what she just said, now that you've done that, now that you sent the email in a couple of days, you're going to start some more information. That's where the next line goes down at the bottom. So now that we've created this building your list attraction funnel, you now have a system in place where while you're at conferences, while you're on vacation, you can start capturing leads or getting information. But what happens after that? Start building that relationship and exactly what you just brought up. Now let's start thinking about your second funnel. And that's lead nurturing, right? So if you come down here, all right, we have this built. You're now in my database. Now what? Now what is up to you? What is your sales cycle like? How do you need to convince people to work with you? In here, in this box, add in lead nurturing. Lead nurturing. So the next step in building your list is now starting to nurture those leads. Start sending them more information. And so these next two arrows, this can be an email that's dripped out 3 or 4 days later. And then down here, this is just going to be a sequence of emails or interactions that you want to have with them. So that's where you start building out the next steps. Yeah, so lead nurturing, think of it as a sales conversation. You meet someone, they say that they're interested. Exactly. Exactly. Would you like to continue with more health results? Would you like to find out more about this program? Here's some information about a program. Here's a testimonial from someone who worked with me, who came to the last conference. Start building that relationship in your brand in what we call our lead nurturing. So by the time that you ask for the sale, they're going to say yes because they know the value. All right. You've now built a list the automated way. So that's our first system. How are you guys feeling? Good? How are your brains feeling? We do. So, a little bit about Entreport. Sorry, I know I'm almost there. Okay, so here's what we just built out. That's exactly what I did for this conference. All I did is I sat down, I built those pages, I built the opt-in in Entreport. And all I had to do was do exactly what you did, but in my software. And now it's live. And now it works. With Entreport, if you're interested, if you want to check it out, come talk to us at the back of the room. I know that you might have different systems. You want to ask a couple more questions specific to your business. We're here to help. Definitely want to direct you guys in the right direction. But with all these things, we have templates for landing pages, for forms, for the emails, for all those components that you just did. We're talking through it so you guys can conceptualize and kind of understand the different parts of it. In Entreport, they're already there. So not too bad to come in there. If you're wanting to find out a little bit more about how you can automate something like that in Entreport, come check us out. I think that we were able to get the CEO to say yes to a trial. 1 year trial. No. No, so we love Steve, and we've been pushing for a free trial for him for a while. We don't do this publicly. So if you guys are interested, we can get you guys a 30-day free trial just to even put together exactly what you just created inside of a system so you see how it works. In either case, you guys have now your first automated system and the content done. So you should feel really good about yourselves. That's it.
Big round of applause. Thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah.